As the famous marketer Russ Ruffino once said, building an audience is a waste of time. That's actually more true than not. And today we're going to talk about exactly why that is. And I'm going to share with you why I stopped really focusing on growing my audience and started focusing on something else that is much, much more powerful and has been responsible for millions of dollars directly into my bank account. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the myth of audience growth. If you ask any coach what is standing in the way between them and whatever revenue goal they're looking at, whatever their next level is, whether that's getting from $10,000 a month to $20,000 a month, or $20,000 a month to $40,000 a month, or $40,000 a month to $100,000 a month, they will always tell you, I need more leads. I need a bigger audience. But here's the thing. Having a big audience in and of itself is actually not that effective. It actually is just a number, which there's really a lot of ego that goes into it. For example, there are people who have, excuse me, there are people with hundreds of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousand people on their email list, even millions of followers, and they are actually not making a lot of money. On the other hand, I know people who have very small followings, very small email lists, and they are doing millions of dollars, sometimes multiple $1 million per year. Why is this? Why is this? It is not because you need to have a big audience. The thing that really, really matters, the most important thing, is really a combination of two things. It's a combination of the authority you have with your audience, or not necessarily your audience, but the authority and the positioning you have with the people who you're connected with. How are you seen in those people's eyes? Do you have a good reputation? Are you known as the person that does XYZ? Are you known as the person that's able to solve this problem? Now, in order to do this, of course, you have to be really good at what you do, which goes without saying. That is one part of it. And the second part of it is the actual connection you have with those people. If you combine authority plus connection, you are unstoppable, and you can make millions of dollars with a small audience. I'm proof of that. I have many clients who are proof of that, and I know many other people who have done the same thing. And this is more true than ever in the age of AI, as I've been talking about for quite a while now. Most marketing is optimizing for dopamine. And really the whole audience growth thing, it's very dopamine based. Now, if you're thinking about going viral on Instagram and getting tens of thousands of followers in an instant, that is all dopamine, just in what it takes to get to that, and also your kind of own dopamine. Like, ooh, I'm getting more followers. This is awesome. But really, we want to be optimizing for oxytocin. Oxytocin really is optimizing for that connection that you have with your audience. So we want to do that by optimizing our own levels of oxytocin and then channeling those through and to other people. Now, a couple of ways that you can do this. One of them is through live events, both virtual live events that typically are anywhere from 2 to 3 days. That is my preferred time frame for those. And the second thing you can do is in-person events. In this day and age, leading your own in-person events as well as attending in-person events, these are things that are going to give you a true competitive advantage over the people who are not doing this. Let me give you an example. I actually, earlier this year, I spoke at an event in February, and the event did not have a huge amount of people. When I gave my talk, there was 30 or so people in the audience, and to be honest, not a ton of those people in the audience were my ideal people. However, a couple of the speakers at that event actually saw my talk. Long story short, one of the speakers who was at the event and saw my talk, she ended up becoming a high-end one-on-one client for me. And after I did my talk, we were able to connect over a dinner, and that's a perfect example of exactly what we're talking about. She saw me in this authoritative position. I was talking about launching many things I talk about on this channel, and then we had that in-person connection, and later on, she became a one-on-one client. So this is a perfect example of what it takes to actually sign up high-quality clients. And you do not need to be going to live events and speaking at them in order to do this, although, of course, that is helpful, and I invite you to take advantage of those opportunities as they come about. Another thing to really lean into when it comes to optimizing for oxytocin, it's really about community. You might have heard about this, but this is really, really important. Same idea. Both going to other people's communities, engaging in other people's communities, becoming part of other people's communities, true communities where there's a true common connection, and then of course forming your own community, which is oftentimes that can happen on school or in a Facebook group or even a WhatsApp group is a great way to do that, to really, really create that connection. Because when you're able to do that, you're able to both have that authority and that connection at the same time. This is the way you grow a very successful coaching business without having a huge audience. It is the quality of the people that you're paying attention to, not the quantity, that makes a difference. So keep that in mind, and I look forward to seeing you get to the next level in your coaching business. Talk soon.